What's up, everybody? This is A7X Fan Ben. Today we're going to be building a two-masted historical brig. If you want the full video on this new ship type, that's where I built USS Niagara in a different video. I'll make sure to link to that. This one might be a little bit shorter in terms of the assembly, just because I don't want to do the exact same video twice. But USS Lawrence is actually the ship that Oliver Hazard Perry started out on at the Battle of Lake Erie. She got pummeled. He switched his flag to Niagara, and then won the battle from there. So USS Lawrence was the first ship that he commanded in the battle. So we're going to pop this one out. So this is a brand new historical ship type, a two-masted brig. So if you see at some point like an artwork template or things like that online for this in the community, you might see 2MB. So that's my abbreviation for it generally, is two-masted brig. So I thought about doing 2MH for two-mast historical brig, but I didn't want to add an extra letter and do like 2MBH or 2MHB. So try to keep it a little bit more simple than that. So big difference here from the two-masted brig that you may have seen from my HMS General Hunter build video is that it has fore and aft sails independent of the main like square rig mast. So it actually has jib and flying jib sails along with the gaff. So I wanted to make this ship type as historical as possible and as accurate as possible for um, giving respect to the different ship type. It was a snow brig. It's kind of how it's described online usually. So yeah, I was really happy with the way it turned out. So we'll see how USS Lawrence goes together. I'm just going to start from the starboard quarter as usual, as I like to do. So you might have to get in there tight a little bit, make sure you don't break anything. The front was a little easier than the back there. And we've got the other side. So the port side, obviously make sure you have the cannons facing out. If you ever see like numbers and the set icon, the age of sail set icon, for example, those will always be on the inside, on the interior, or for example, on the hull, they'll be on the bottom. So obviously just artwork side out, as you're probably used to from building some of the original ships as well. So just gonna go port side. All right, that one was a little tighter at the front instead of the back, but it goes in really nice. Got our cannon deck armament there, 20 cannons. I think she had 18 carronades and then 2 long cannons, just like the Niagara. So I'm gonna do the flag next. You could do this last, but usually I just like to kind of go stern to bow basically with all the different parts, including the stuff that slots in on the deck, on the top deck level. So this is one of the hardest parts to get right about um, manufacturing this nowadays, whether it's laser cut or decal. The stern flags often they often don't cooperate, but all right, I got it now. So sometimes you just have to take out like a little tiny bit of styrene. I do actually have laser cut lines that cut extra like styrene out of the slots. I used to only have that on the hole slots, the closed slots, but now I have them on the open sliding slots for a lot of the newer ship types like this. But sometimes there's still just a little bit of extra styrene that the laser just doesn't hit. So you might have to pop that out with like a nail or a file, or sometimes like the edge, you could pop the edge of the card into it too, because theoretically that will be the exact same thickness as what you're putting in there, which is the stern flag. So all right, so for the gaff, like I talked about in my Niagara video, these slots are going to line up with the gaff, which you'll put behind the sails, behind the mast here. So I really like how that slots in actually. I'll be honest, this has actually worked better than I expected. So really happy with how that's turned out. So that way you get that front and back jib and gaff look, which makes it look way more historically accurate, but it's still only 2 cannons because I only want it to be a two-masted ship for the purposes of gameplay. So this is kind of how I hacked that. So I might talk about that in a different video as well. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. So I'm loving how this turned out. So we've got the square rig mast with kind of the unique shape here in the front. I based all that on paintings along with the current USS Niagara, which is kind of a replica, but also has, is kind of the original ship. It's kind of that ship of Theseus thing that I might put a link to in the description. It's like, is it the original ship or not? But because she's been rebuilt so many times, it has new wood and whatnot. But anyway, lots of pictures used as references to get the sails right, the way they come over the edge of the deck, and also the jib and flying jib and stuff like that. So there we have it, USS Lawrence. So War of 1812 megapack, and Oliver Hazard Perry's flagship to start the battle. So you can get your own at piratesofben.com. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Pirates videos.